Welcome to episode 10 of On Your Marks. Today I'm joined by Rhett, a 19-year-old distance runner from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland in Australia. He has raced 1,500 metres to 5,000 metres on the track and 5 kilometres to 21.1 kilometres on the road, plus done very well over cross country over the last few years. His PBs at the moment on the track include 1,500 and 3:59, 3,000 metres in 8:18, 5,000 metres in 14:52, and also a really impressive half marathon recently in 1:07. He's got a really impressive string of race results, and a lot of them have been literally in Queensland state championships at the all schools level and the Athletics Queensland level, but I won't have time to run through all of those because they are huge in number, but I'll go through the big national races where he's done really well, and they include a second in the 2024 National All Schools Under 17 Cross Country, a first in the 2025 National All Schools Under 20 Cross Country, a third in the 2025 Australian Under 20 Men's Cross Country, a second in the 2026 Queensland Under 20 Men's 3,000 metres in a highly competitive field, an eighth in the 2026 National Under 20 Men's 5,000 metres, which doubled as the World Junior qualifying race, and a third in the 2026 Noosa Half Marathon. And Rhett's progression has been as follows, and I'll only go through the 3,000 metre progression being a classic event for a distance runner of the schoolboy level. Aged 17 for 3,000 metres, he ran 8:43. Aged 18, he ran 8:31, and aged 19, he ran 8:18. So welcome to the show, Rhett. That's a very impressive list of results you've got there, really good resume. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No worries, you're welcome. Great to have, finally, you are the first Sunshine Coast guest on the show in episode 10. It's taken 10 episodes to get a local to come on down and join me. So here you are on Your Marks. So I've got a whole bunch of questions for you today. First of all, Rhett, where did your running journey begin? How old were you?
I started running when I was 10. But obviously watched my two older brothers run through the years and started with at 10 years old, getting into running just for fun, and then it's progressed over the years and gotten progressively better as the years have gone on.
Brilliant. So who was coaching you in your younger years? How did that training progress?
I was coached by Tony Doherty from about 10 to 13 or 14, and that was just pretty easy. Obviously for fun, and then got a bit more serious over the years, progressing up to probably 7 days a week now. So it's gotten progressively better over the years, and loving it every day.
So you're doing a bit as a really little kid before the age of 10, before you joined Tony and the T-Squad. And then tell us a little bit more about Tony's T-Squad and how that training evolves there for the 10 to 13, 10 to 14, 10 to 15-year-old kids. What were you doing? How many times a week were you turning up, and what kinds of workouts were you doing?
So we were doing 2 sessions a week on a Wednesday and a Sunday with Tony, and those sessions were usually 500s or 250s or 750s, just sort of reps of that. Building your base, and Tony's really, really good with the younger kids, building them through and not doing too much too early, and not working them too hard. We had 2 sessions a week with Tony, and then 2 easy runs on the side that were directed by him, which were absolutely perfect through my younger years.
Real. So you built up a great engine there when you were only a little, and were you doing much racing in that period, like in the upper primary, junior, secondary age groups?
I was doing a little bit of racing, just the school races, like districts and regionals. Was only getting to a state, which was obviously wanted more when I was younger, and then as I got older, progressed a bit more to the club area of stuff and started making national teams, and doing really well, which was really good.
That's great. So when you say Tony gave you 2 easy runs a week, where did you do those? What was your typical go-to place to go for an easy jog locally?
At that time, we lived out in Malula, just out near Maleny. So we'd usually go out to Umatic Dam and just run through the national park there, which is obviously really good, just along the trails, not in the road or anything like that. And yeah, got a few good hills in there, which is good base training.
Yeah, hills play the hills, and I love that Umatic Trail, especially near the dam area, in the hilly area at the start there. I imagine you would have had a couple of really good circuits there and built up your aerobic capacity and made yourself stronger running on the hills. So that's great. That's brilliant. So you attended Siena Catholic College. Did you compete often for the school?
Yeah, I would compete for the school through districts, and then some of the club events at state all schools would compete for the school. Yeah, but there wasn't too much specific meets that we'd go to at the school. It was just, yeah, through districts, and then I'd obviously compete at state all schools.
Yeah, so you say you had to do districts. Did you have to do regional as well?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
districts through to regionals and then onto states. But yeah, competed for coastal district at regionals.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and so how were you going in the state and national level when you were, let's say, year 7, year 8, year 9?
I was sort of middle of the pack. Finished my first year, finished 14th as a 10-year-old, and then was through the 7th to 8th for the next few years. So I was up there, but obviously would have loved to make a Queensland team in my younger years. But yeah, just weren't working myself too hard when I was younger, and yeah, obviously it's helped a lot now that I'm progressing through and getting older.
That's unreal. No doubt that would have been a bit of a carrot dangling there for a 12 or 13-year-old Rhett Baker there, not quite making the team and wanting to make it in the upcoming season after coming, 7th and missing out by one spot or whatever the year before. So it would have kept you motivated, no doubt.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and I imagine a few of your mates might have been just making teams or making teams. You would have seen them wearing the maroon and white Queensland tracksuits and singlets to training and that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely had a lot of the older boys were making those Queensland teams, and that definitely gave me that determination to train hard and work harder and get there in the future years. Yeah.
That's good. I think it's a real good thing going on in Athletics Australia in that school age bracket there for the younger kids, that there is a lot of pride in making your state team wherever you live, whether it's New South Wales or Victoria or Queensland or wherever. They love wearing their state colours. They know, particularly I think Queensland and New South Wales, because state of origin is such a big thing, and I think kids see how much attention the rugby league players get there wearing the maroon or wearing the blue, and if you can end up making a state team, it's a real honour, isn't it, to make your first state team, or any state team really, particularly when you're a kid. You think, oh, I'm up there now, representing my state at the national level. It's a great thing to do. Did you do any other sports in your school years?
Yes, I pretty much played every sport under the sun through my school years,
Yeah.
but the main ones were touch, OzTag, cricket and rugby were big things.
Yeah.
I was a big cricket kid growing up, and that was one thing. The cricket and the running were two of my favourite things all the way through primary and high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously converted over to just straight running now. It's been just straight running for the last few years, which has been pretty good. Just not having to worry about getting injured while doing other sports is definitely a lot of less stress on me and especially mum. Yeah.
Fair enough. More of a batter or a bowler?
All rounder.
Yeah. Very good. And how about was that rugby union?
Yeah, rugby union.
Yeah. What position did you play, or did you mix it around a bit?
Mixed it around a little bit, but mainly a scrum half or a fly half.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty quick, or you're more positional and setting people up who are quicker outside you?
More setting people up outside me. I had a little bit of speed on me when I was younger, but yeah, just definitely giving the outside boys were much quicker.
Unreal. Okay. Now you're currently training with race pace. The squad I see running a lot around my local area in Coolum. Name the squad coaches there and other top squad members and their performances.
Yeah, so the coaches are Jackie and Pete McKenzie. Yeah, great coaches, great people. And a few of the main boys that are training there is Josh Shanahan, Jet Allen, and JC Intiekia. it's a pretty small group for the older boys, but definitely a very, very good group to be around. Yeah.
You wouldn't get many junior or even, I guess, how old's Josh now?
He's 21 this year.
Yeah, you wouldn't get many squads with like 18 to 21-year-olds with that much quality with form going around anywhere in Australia. That's, very good. I mean, a lot of kids tend to go overseas and or they might just go off the boil a little bit at that age when they start hitting uni or when they leave high school. But it's great that Peter's been able to keep you guys together and you're able to push each other along because you can't beat that group effect, and particularly with people around your level. And I think they are all around your level, aren't they? The other three boys, one way or the other. You'd all have your strengths and weaknesses. So, what are your strengths when it comes to training and racing?
Definitely the distance stuff's been a big strength for me. Like 2K reps, a lot, just anything that's sort of over that 1500 has been definitely a big strength for me, especially in training. But then obviously with the shorter stuff, you get pushed by the other boys, and a few of the triathletes as well love to push you along.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed up here, that there are so many multi-event people from surf lifesaving and triathlon, and they make great training partners for runners and vice versa. So that's good. You're never short of a training partner. You've only got to look up the local tri club and surf club, and there'll be plenty of fit people around there to go for runs with you and do workouts. And I think that's the way race pace work too, don't they? They take all people in, and particularly the multi-event people, and help them along with whatever their goals are. So that's nice. What's Josh done? Just let me know. You might know. What are his PBs? Josh Shanahan.
His PBs off the top of my head, he just recently ran 14:25. Pretty sure it was for 5K the other weekend.
Yeah, that was on the road, right?
Yeah.
I've
That
never
was on the
seen
road.
that. Pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. He's also got 354, I think it is, for 1500.
Yeah.
409 mile. So
Yeah.
he's big on the shorter distances. But yeah, he's run pretty well over 10K on the road as well. I think he's ran 30:52 a few weeks ago as well. So yeah, he's progressing really well.
Unreal. Fantastic there. And how many kilometres a week have you been doing with race pace when you're in full training? And how about the other boys as well? What's the weekly mileage looking like?
For me, it's full training. I'm about that 80, 90K a week. I produce better off a little bit less than most of the other boys. A few of the other boys are on 100 to 110K a week. I'm just a little bit less than that 80 to 90 range, which fits me pretty much perfectly.
Great. And do you band together for a long run and or semi-long runs?
Yeah, we jump together on a Sunday out at Perigian for a long run with all the boys as much as we can. Usually weekly, Josh and I will meet up and do a long run.
Do you go out along that near Lake Weber there and out that way, or?
Yep, yeah, along the trail out at Lake Weber.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I ran there with my daughter Tilly on the weekend, just a short one, 11K, and we just went nearly to the lake and back. And we love that one, just rolling hills, and yeah, it keeps you going. You're away from the traffic. It's nice. That's good. And what are your typical workouts? What would be? Do they vary between track season and cross country, or are they like rolling along and on a cycle year round, or how do the workouts operate there?
Yeah, they'll usually vary from crossy to athletics. Cross country usually have Tuesday it'd be the longer reps, like 2K or 4K reps at threshold to race pace. And then we have the 1K, usual 1K reps in there as well. But in track, it's usually the shorter stuff. We hit a few miles, 600s, some 400s. But yeah, it definitely varies between crossing and athletics. But we're pretty even with it, just keeping that aerobic base is a big thing with Pete. Yeah,
you need to keep building up the aerobics there. That's great. Do you hit the track 12 months a year down at Sippy Downs, or is that more of a seasonal thing?
Yeah, we're there 12 months a year. Every Thursday we'll be there, and then in track season we hit it a little bit more on a Saturday. We'll start to turn up at USC and get a little bit more feel for the track.
Yeah, that's a beautiful place to train there, morning or afternoon. Probably a bit brutal in the middle of the day, like anywhere in Queensland in the summer, but beautiful, particularly after sunset or just at dusk there with the kangaroos hopping around and the harsh sun going down and the temperature feeling way cooler, even though it's not that much cooler. You feel like you can get through it, and you've got a great place there to warm up, cool down, and do the workout. And do you access the university for anything other than the running track? Do you use the gym or the pools or anything else, sports science or psychology or anything like that?
I was using the gym towards the middle of last year. I was using that 3 times a week, as well as on a Friday do the recovery in the hot and cold pools there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just haven't really been there too recently. Obviously, with a lot of racing going on, you don't want to be in the gym too much close to races. So yeah, veered away from it a little bit, but would definitely love to get back in there soon. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's great. So on those long runs and your recovery runs, you've got obviously other recovery runs to make up that 80 to 90k a week. Where do you do your 5, 10k, Monday, Wednesday, or your non-session day runs during the week?
Yeah, usually do them just around Kawana Island. There's a pretty good loop just near me out towards Kawana Island and around there's been pretty good, nice and flat. Yeah, and then obviously on the path, but sometimes still go out to Umatic Dam and get the hills in when I need. But yeah.
Oh, that's great. So what would be your favourite run or session overall with what you're doing here on the sunny coast?
Favourite sessions definitely got to be 8 by 1k at cross country race pace. Definitely a really good session for pretty much anything. But yeah, just doing that about 2 to 3 weeks out from a big race is a good indicator to see where you're at, and yeah, love a good 1k rep.
Yeah, I like to hear that number, like a higher number of 1k reps there. I used to give my good senior guys and even good junior guys as well, not too far short of what the seniors did, but up to 9. But I always thought 10 was just a little bit too much, and every now and then someone would ask if they could make it 10 to round it off. But yeah, that's still a good long workout at race pace when you're hitting 8 by k or 8k worth of work. I noticed, have you ever met Alex Harvey, the local marathon or long distance runner at all?
I haven't met with him, but yeah, obviously know a few of his training sessions I used when I was training for a half marathon.
Oh, you on Strava, do you?
Yeah, and follow him on Instagram as well. So he's posted a few of his sessions on there.
Yeah, he's a bit of an animal, isn't he, with the stuff. But don't know if you saw what Alex did the other day, but I'm sure it was 8 by 1500 around the local roads. That's a long workout there. That's getting up there. I remember when I lived in Canada in the mid-90s, and I trained with a couple of good marathoners, and one of them was a guy I called Deke. Not our Robert D. Costello. He was the opposite to Deke. Like, he was fairly similar marathon, a little bit slower, but he ran into Olympic marathons. He's only 5 foot tall, tiny little guy, built like a jockey. And Deke, 1 month before every marathon, he'd do 15 by k around a little lake in Stanley Park in Vancouver called Beaver Lake. And no one could do the whole workout with him, but he'd normally get 1 or 2 strong guys to do the first half, like 7 or 8 of them, and then a couple of other pretty good guys to do the other 7 or 8. And anyone who tried that, I tried that, 7 or 8, it was like, how on earth can you do double that and keep going, and it's just unbelievable. So, but to be a good distance runner, even you follow anyone like Harvey or anyone even better these days than Alex. They don't muck around. A lot of the workouts are long, particularly for the more long distance-based runners. Very good. Now, I've seen you've signed up with Athlete Nexus, and Jaden Russ is one of the owners and organisers of that being an athlete, I guess, education and then sign-up program there to try and fly the flag for you to make the NCAA unis take note. So that's very much a good thing for overseas students to have an expert like Jaden on board there. Are you aiming to start at a US college at the beginning of their school year, like in late August?
Yeah, so currently in the process of hopefully heading over in the next couple of months to start in August for the start of the crossy season. Yeah, Jaden's really helped with that, really good with that, and yeah, we're progressing really well with that and on track to be over there in August, which is really good.
And what are a few of the boxes that you have to tick, like now and maybe a little bit before? I think you signed up with that a few weeks ago, didn't you? So is there anything you have to do, like paperwork-wise or preparation-wise, not even running related, or might be running related, more academic related, to make sure you're ticking all the boxes?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a big process just getting all your report cards from year 8 through to year 12 sent over, and getting them checked just to make sure you're eligible for the D1. Yeah, and then obviously your background of where I started running and my times and how I progressed is definitely a big thing for them over there. But yeah, it's been a pretty hefty process, and yeah, but Jaden's really good with it and has helped massively.
That's unreal. That's really good. Do you have any mates that are likely to follow suit, or are you the only local one you know of that might be going over there for the time being?
The only local one from the sunny coast that I know of, but we've had a few of my mates from Brisbane and down south have signed and have headed over already, which is yeah pretty good. So there'll be a good group over there that I'll be able to hopefully connect with at a few of the NCAA races.
That's nice. And obviously, making the move or deciding to try and make the move to get over there and race and study, what sort of racing would you most look forward to when you hit America and start hitting the NCAA events?
Definitely looking very excited for the crossy season. Obviously pushing to get over there in August because that is the start of the cross country season.
Yeah.
So yeah, very excited for that, and then just the distance for the track races, and yeah, racing indoors is going to be a really good thing as I get over there, hopefully. Yeah.
Big time. Well, that's great. Yeah, I've certainly watched a lot of the indoor, outdoor and cross country over the years, and they all look very exciting, and they seem to be building and to be bigger and better every year. And the standard's just unbelievable over there, particularly in cross country. I think it was from far north Queensland there who's done the 13:16. I'm trying to think of his name now. He ran with the Boltzers up in Cairns, and he went down, I think, with Jaden for his final year or two. What's his name? Going blank. But he just ran a 13:16, the Aussie. It'll come to me, and I'll normally remember a name after I've stopped trying to remember it. But he ran a 13:15 or 13:16, ended up coming back and ran nationals. He's running with the On team now with Craig Mottram. But in his final national cross country, which was 2025, so half a year ago, I think he came 99th to 100th. And he'd already run the 13:16, I think, like outdoors back in about June or whatever. And he classed that 99th, I think it was, as the best race of his life. So if a guy can run that quick, Toby Gillen, there you go, Toby Gillen. If Toby Gillen can rate sneaking into the top 100 in NCAA Nationals as the best race of his life, and he's already run a 13:16 for 5, and he ended up coming like 5th in our Nationals as well, behind Morgan McDonald and Seth and Cam Myers and forget who was the other one, but it would have been Jackson Sharp, and I think he was 5th. A guy at that level saying that's the best race of my life, it tells you just it's a very hot competition over there by the sounds of it now. It's really building. It'd be very exciting for you. You'll be out there with the best in the world, I guess. And even I know an upcoming interviewee will be Hayley Kitching from Coffs originally, and she's been at Penn State University, and she just got runner-up in the 800 metres on the weekend in 1:57.5, which is the third fastest Australian time in history and nearly the national record. And I think it actually beat the championship record, but the girl who won obviously has the championship record because she beat her. But, I think 1:57, for a woman, and the guys are capable of running 3:31 and that sort of thing. And then, same kind of thing, they're running 26 for 10K, some of those guys. So quite incredible competition. So to be in there with the best of them, and it'll be great for your development, no doubt.
Yeah.
So on development, you've progressed nicely over the last few years. The last 12 months have been a breakthrough period for you. What do you feel have been your three best races in that 12-month period and why?
Definitely my best race, I feel like, was National Schools on the Gold Coast. Obviously won that pretty convincingly to some of the best runners in Australia in a pretty high caliber field. So that was definitely a big one for me. The under 20s at Ballarat is definitely up there. Just racing against obviously the age above and a really, really big field and good depth field there was another big one. And then my last year of state schools crossy was a good one to get the win at home as well. Was really good in front of a good crowd. Yeah.
You love your cross country, and I mean, it's the cornerstone of distance running and the sport in general. Cross country. I think there would have been cross country races way before they invented a 400-metre track, and it's just such a great part of the sport there. There's no doubt about that. And look, whether you're running national all schools, which you have, or whether you're running Athletics Australia events, which you have, and you've done really well in both, they're both cutthroat by the time you get to nationals. Like with all schools, you've got kids, as you know, doing district, and then often they might have to do division after that in a big city, followed by regional. Even to make regionals, you've got to be a gun. Really you do. And then they've got to do state. And like, for example, Victorian all schools at Bundoora in the state, on average, it's about 150 boys and 150 girls in the two separate races in just about any given age group, and they're all hotshots, And then only 10 or so, or depending what they're getting ready for, only 6 make either the Athletics Australia Nationals or the All Schools Nationals. So they really are the cream of the crop. And then you have not only got through all those stages, but you've medalled and you've even won. So kudos to you there. You've really had a good schoolboy athletics career, and particularly cross-country career. Yeah. Now, a large percentage of Australia's top juniors come from southeast Queensland, i.e. pretty well from the border to Queen Heads, Coolangatta, on the Goldie, pretty much up to Noosa. I think that's what we call southeast Queensland. Do you have any ideas on why this might be the case?
I wouldn't have a clue. Sort of just think a bit of the heat's definitely a big thing because it obviously gets really hot here in the summer. And I know off past experience, a few of the New South Wales boys and Victoria boys struggled a little bit with that, coming and racing in the heat and not being used to it being very, very hot and windy here. But I definitely feel like that's a big thing. And then we all connect very, very well over here, especially if it's sunny coast or the Gold Coast or Brisbane. All the boys connect really, really well.
That's good. And let's not forget the girls as well. I mean, they've really been shining too at that national level and even the junior international level. But you brought up a good point there, how you need to work together well with people in your region, even if they're not in your squad. You need to try and work out where other people are racing, for example. For example, the Sunshine Coast Track Classic. It looked like Jaden had quite a few good boys and girls come up, and a couple of other coaches did too. And then the Sunny Coast coaches and athletes all got on board, and the fields were good. And similarly, if there's something happening down in Brizzy or the Gold Coast, then people band together and get together to race. You're not usually going to pull out a big race if you're the only person in the field. If you lap the whole field. I mean, Ron Clark did once. He broke the world 10K record. He double lapped second place, but you won't get many Ron Clarks out there. You generally need a good pack to run along with, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's good, you're working together. Yeah. Well, one thing you didn't mention, I've got an idea on it, and I reckon your squad are kind of part of that, part of the movement, and that is like embracing the multi-eventers. And a lot of kids just do so many sports, and a lot of the sports they're doing involves endurance, like whether it's playing soccer / football or AFL, probably let's say rugby league, you don't do as much running. Where you were in the middle of the, playing more near the ruck there, fly half or 5/8 or whatever, there you were doing more work, more running than most. Or cricket, you don't do a hell of a lot. Although in 2020, I know they have to move around a fair bit. But definitely with AFL and those team sports which involve running, there's a lot of running, but then so many people are involved in that, like whether it's swimming, surf, Ironman, whether they're paddling, kayaking, as in like skiing, running on the beach, triathlon, they're building up unbelievable engines. Like the great Craig Mottram was a junior triathlete all the way until the beginning of year 12 when his dad said, you're about to start your VCE, which is like your QCE up here. I've got 3 sons here going to this really rich school, even though I'm only paying half price. I'm the gardener here. I can't afford. I'm not stretching my budget like I have been for you to bomb out in year 12. You have to pick one discipline, and he did, and then he became one of the greatest runners in the world. But definitely he got there because of what he did as a kid, and that was all that background as a multi-eventer, and he played soccer a lot too. So that's what I reckon. I just see more kids around here. I was a teacher back in the day, then I've been a coach for a long time, and I've never been anywhere in Australia or anywhere in the world where I've seen so many kids moving around, like keeping fit, you know, even just your average kid on the street riding skateboards and, you know, surfing. It's another thing, surfing, you've got to be mega fit. All the people are out there catching waves every day. It's like the surfing heartland of the world almost around here. So I just think you've got a lot of really fit people, and then to jump into a cross-country race or whatever in running, you don't have to do too much more. You just have to jump in. You're kind of ready for the hard training almost as it is from the word go. So yeah, that's my idea on that. So obviously your running goals for the rest of 2026 are to make sure you're in a good place and you're quite fit when you're lining up, when you go to whatever uni that might be, and then you want to start off really well in your first cross-country season. Have you thought about what ultimately might be your best event as you're getting maybe more towards of university and then like after you graduate when you get into your mid-late 20s and whatnot?
Yeah, well, definitely cross-country is going to be a big thing when I head over there. But the longer stuff has been a big goal for me for obviously when I finish and graduate from college. So I've been definitely looking into the half marathons as well and those 10Ks on the road. Loved racing the half marathon at Noosa as well. And yeah, found myself liking that and trained. Obviously didn't have a very good training block coming into it, but yeah, it just shows that I've definitely got a lot more room for improvement there. So definitely the halves and even the marathon will definitely be looking at through my mid to late 20s.
Fair enough. Look, I don't think there'd be many 18 to 19-year-olds, good training block or not, who could bang out a 67 for a half. I was there that day, and conditions weren't perfect. It was pretty warm. You had quite a lot of U-turns to do. You know, it wasn't a world-class field. You had a couple of really good runners up ahead of you, but they were sort of in a different race, and there were big gaps everywhere. You know what I mean? So you could have done quicker and on a more ideal course. So I think it was a great run, to be honest, and particularly for a youngster your age. Now, do you have a special diet at all? What are your favourite foods and meals?
Yeah, so I've been to a dietitian and obviously have stuck pretty well to that. But I love a good butter chicken, and then pasta and mince is definitely a big thing the night before. Always have pasta and mince the night before. And then yeah, pre-training is an apple juice and a couple of pikelets and a muesli bar is definitely a big thing, just to get those carbs and calories in, and just making sure I'm not bonking in a session is definitely a big thing. But yeah.
Did you do anything different in the day or two leading up to the half marathon? I know it's not a marathon, it's not an Ironman triathlon or anything like that, but it would have been, correct me if I'm wrong, but would that have been more than double what you raced before in any individual race?
Yes, yeah, I've only raced 10K once when I was, I think, 13, so it was definitely a big distance for me to race. But
Change
yeah,
the food intake leading in?
yeah, so yeah, I was carb loading 48 hours out, which was, yeah, a big difference to obviously an 8K race where you're not carb loading as much. But yeah, I reckon I did pretty well with the carb load and just lots of chicken and rice and yeah, making sure I'm still hydrated with electrolytes and gels and everything like that.
That's good. Yeah, so now we mentioned briefly before strength training at the uni. Do you do any strength work at home or locally, or what's the goal of that for you at the moment involving strength?
Yeah, so I do a gym session 2 to 3 times a week, which is just sort of that power and strength, definitely through the legs and the arms is a big thing. So I do that, yeah, 3 times a week. Aim to get into jets at Sippy Downs sometimes, or even the uni if that's available. But
Yep.
yeah, just 3 times a week is a big thing for me, just getting that strength right.
That's great. That's awesome. You're doing all of that. And how about cross training? Are you doing much cross training?
Yeah, a little bit. I've recently been jumping on the road bike a lot and doing a lot of Ks on the road bike in these past few weeks, which definitely helps a lot and makes a big difference, obviously, with the longer races as well. I found that, but yeah.
Excellent. How far are you going on your longest ride?
The longest ride's been 100k,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
down through
Yeah.
Pomona and Palmwoods through there, which is pretty good, nice hills, and yeah, really good ride.
Great. Uh, is there only one race in the world that you dream about doing one day?
Yeah, it's a pretty funny one. The marathon actually at the Olympics here is definitely a big goal for me. Obviously,
How old will you be? Have you worked out how old you'll be?
no, I haven't, not off the top of my head. But just to be racing that locally, obviously on your doorstep, is definitely a big thing, and yeah, would love to get there one day. But other than that, is obviously NCAA nationals, the cross country would be definitely a big thing in these next few years. Yeah.
Well, NCAA, if you get through the good 4 years there and keep building, it'll be a great stepping stone to build the mileage, build your racing weaponry, and get strong as a distance runner. Right? Look, you'll be mid-20s, so mid-20s is always a good time to get right into the marathon. And look, believe it or not, Deek and Mono were 23, 24 when they debuted in the marathon. So, look, if you wanted to make that team in 2032, you'd have to be looking at debuting in 2030 or no later than early 2031 to get a feel for it, probably with your debut, and then you'd probably want to make a really serious attempt on your second go to try and get the qualifying time and or the points or whatever you needed, or however they'll work it out. But you'd need to be running well to make it, no doubt. Every Aussie would be trying to make it on home soil. So, look, based on the type of runner you are and your age, I reckon you'd be the perfect age by that point to give it a good crack. That's good. Very exciting for you. What do you enjoy most of all about long distance running?
Sort of just being able to be with your own thoughts is definitely a big thing. Just obviously those easy runs, you sort of escape everything, and you, especially when you're running by yourself, it's just you and your thoughts. And I definitely love just being able to not have to worry about everything else that's going on and just, yeah, let my thoughts run, which has definitely been a big thing lately. Just not stressing about too much about what's going on, and yeah.
That's good. Do you follow the big time? Do you follow the big name runners? And if so, do you have a favourite runner in the world out there?
Yeah, currently it's Cam Myers. Obviously, with the last few years that he's had has been really huge for him. And then, yeah, on the road, there's Brett Robinson and your Jack Rayner, who are definitely big idols of mine for those half marathons and marathons. But, yeah, those three are definitely keeping track of where they're going. And, yeah, they're definitely going places, especially Cam.
Big time. They've all been remarkable in their own way, haven't they? Look, Brett in particular has been around a long time now. Well, I remember when he made World Juniors as a 18 or 19-year-old way back in, I think it was 2010. It was in Moncton in Canada. I was there because I coached the other 1500 boy, Todd Wakefield, at that point in time. And Brett has gone from being 15 runner way back then, 17 years ago, to it didn't take him long, a year or two after that, and he's one of our top seniors, representing Australia over 5K on the track, and he's been at that really high level for probably just about 2 decades. So that's just an incredible long career for Brett. Now, what are you planning on studying when you go to university? It might be tough because you don't know exactly which one you're going to yet, but have you eyed off any particular type of course that you'd like to do?
Yeah, definitely looked into sport and exercise science has been a big goal for me, or exercise physiology. Just so it's sort of keeping me in that sort of sport base and that sport life if running doesn't go perfectly. Yeah, it's definitely been a big look into that sport and exercise science and the sort of coaching and physio side of that.
Nice. And what are your interests outside of running?
Obviously coaching, and yeah, being a physio has been a big interest in me. But yeah, just keeping track of sport. I've been around sport my whole life and was born into it, and yeah, love pretty much every day just being able to wake up and be as good as I am across the running side of things, and then obviously to grow up and play other sports is definitely a big thing as well.
Are you a fanatical fan of any particular footy team or any other sporting team in any code?
Yeah, big fan of the North Queensland Cowboys in the NRL. Definitely follow them. Been following them for a long, long time, which is
So
pretty good.
2017, you would have only been about 10 then. Do you remember when Jonathan Thurston kicked that goal?
Yep, yeah, I remember it very well. I was jumping up and down when Kyle Feldt scored in the corner, and obviously watching that kick was pretty devastating. But then for him to hit that field goal a few minutes later was a big thing.
Yeah.
And I was, going crazy as a 10-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, I bet you would have been, yeah. Were you in the crowd or were you watching it on telly at that point?
No, I was watching it on telly at my auntie's house. Yeah, we always do a big gathering for the grand final every year, and yeah, it was good to. I would have loved to be there, but just good to be able to witness that.
Yeah. Do you follow AFL much at all?
Yeah, do follow AFL. Big fan of Hawthorn.
I know.
Yeah,
Okay, we might have to cut the interview now. No, only kidding. Good man. Okay, good luck with them. Now, I'm going to give you a few quick fire questions to finish off, and pretty well you'll choose one option of the two presented in each question. Okay, you ready to go? It'll be all over pretty quick, this one.
Yep.
So pick one of these two. What's the best bird, a kookaburra or a magpie?
Whoa, Kookaburra.
Yeah. Nike or New Balance running shoes?
Nike.
Cam Myers or Sebastian Sawe?
Cam Myers.
Victoria or the Sunshine Coast?
Sunny Coast.
Yeah. England or Kenya?
England.
Meat pies or pizza?
Or meat pie.
Fishing or surfing?
Surfing.
Cycling or skateboarding?
Cycling.
Board shorts or jeans?
Boardies.
Yeah. Working or sleeping?
Sleeping.
Chocolate or veggies?
Chocolate.
National cross country or Zatopek?
Zatopek.
Long runs or track work?
Long runs.
Chin-ups or push-ups?
Push-ups.
Sheep or goats?
Goats.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Rhett. It's been a pleasure having a chat, and wish you all the very best of luck with your training, other stuff you're doing, and obviously we're signing up, hopefully, with a really good school, if it'll be the college of your dreams, and you'll have a great career over there academically and running-wise, and we'll be watching from afar back here in Australia, so fingers crossed for the next few months and that things pan out really well for you. So, in closing, we can see that Rhett is a young runner who has consistently performed extremely well in state and national level races in his age groups. He recently demonstrated that he's willing to step up and race older guys at the senior level, like in the recent half marathon at Noosa. After several years of solid results and great progression, he's now knocking on the door of being a top performer in the NCAA. We wish him the best of luck for a bright running future, and thanks for watching and listening, folks. Don't forget to keep your toes behind the start line. Always run hard through the finishing line, and what you do in between is up to you. Thanks and goodbye.